You're doing dips wrong. That's why your chest won't grow. Go find a dip bar right now, or a bench, or 2 chairs. Doesn't matter, because I already know exactly how you do dips, and I already know why they're not building your chest. You lower yourself down, feel it in your shoulders, maybe your triceps, rack up 10 or 15 reps, feel good about the set, and walk away with almost no chest development. Meanwhile, the dip is supposed to be one of the greatest chest builders ever created. Gymnasts use it, powerlifters use it. The best physiques in history were built partly on dips. So what's going wrong? 5 errors, 5 things nobody corrected when you first grabbed those bars, and every single one is quietly redirecting all the work away from your chest into your joints, into your shoulders, into empty reps that leave you nowhere. Fix these 5 things, and the dip becomes one of the most powerful chest exercises you can do anywhere, anytime, with or without a gym. And fix number 4 especially, because that one alone is responsible for more wasted chest gains than almost any other mistake in pushing movements. Let's get into it.
Here's what most people don't understand about the dip. The dip is not a fixed movement. It's a shape-shifting exercise. The exact same bars, the exact same motion can train your chest or your triceps or your front delts, depending entirely on how you set your body up. Most people set it up wrong, and they end up training everything except the chest they came for. The dip is actually 2 exercises wearing the same name. There's a tricep dip, body upright, elbows driving straight back, chest barely involved. And there's a chest dip, body tilted forward, elbows flared slightly, chest getting a deep stretch with every rep. Most men are doing the triceps version while expecting the chest version to show up in the mirror. It won't. Here's the other problem. The dip puts your shoulder in one of the most vulnerable positions any pressing movement can reach. Your arm goes behind your body, your shoulder capsule is stretched, and if your setup is wrong, every rep quietly grinds the joint from the inside. Do this for months and you'll end up with anterior shoulder pain or worse, a partially torn labrum you didn't see coming. That's the danger. That's the cost of doing dips wrong. 5 fixes, starting with the one that changes the entire muscular target. Error 1, torso position. The lever that decides everything, your torso angle. This is the most important variable in the dip, and almost nobody talks about it. When your torso is upright, your pressing force drives straight down, your elbows track behind your body, and your triceps do the majority of the work. When your torso tilts forward 30 to 45 degrees minimum, everything changes. Your pressing angle shifts, your elbows track outward, and your pectorals are suddenly the primary mover. The lean is not optional for chest dips. It is the chest dip. Most men stay upright because it feels more powerful, because you can do more reps, because nobody told them they were doing a different exercise. The fix is simple and instant. Before you lower yourself 1 inch, push your chest forward. Let your hips drift slightly back and hold that forward lean throughout the entire rep. If you feel your chest for the first time on a dip, that's why. You finally found the right exercise. Torso handled, but there's an error underneath that one that's turning every rep into a partial and robbing your chest of the most important inch of the movement.
Error 2, stopping short at the bottom, the missing inch where all the growth happens. The bottom of a dip is where the chest gets its deepest stretch, and deep stretch under load is one of the most powerful drivers of muscle growth we know about. Most people stop halfway, upper arms parallel to the floor, or not even that far, because it gets hard, because the shoulder feels uncomfortable, because they're chasing reps and not tension. When you stop short, you miss the stretch, and you eliminate the most anabolic part of the rep. The fix? Lower until your upper arms go slightly below parallel. You'll feel your chest pull apart. That tension is the signal. That's your chest muscle being loaded at its longest point. Now here's the caveat. If your shoulder screams at the bottom, that's not tightness to push through. That's a positioning problem, and we'll fix the root cause in error 5. For now, earn the depth, control the descent, and don't bounce out of the bottom. Pause 1 second, let the stretch register, then drive up. 2 down, and these next 2 are different because they're invisible. You can't see them in a mirror. You can't feel them until they've already cost you months of progress, or worse, your shoulder. Error 3, elbow flare/grip width. The silent joint destroyer nobody warns you about. There's a specific elbow angle on the dip that builds the chest, and a specific elbow angle that slowly destroys the shoulder, and most men are training in the second one. When your elbows flare out too wide, past 45 to 60 degrees from your torso, your upper arm bone rotates externally, and the top of the humerus begins to pinch into the front of your shoulder socket. Specifically, your biceps tendon and your supraspinatus get compressed every time you lower. Do this once, you feel nothing. Do this 1,000 times over 6 months, and you're in a physio's office wondering why your shoulder aches every time you press. The fix? Think elbows tracking toward the wall behind you, not out to the sides. Elbows go back and slightly out, 30 to 45 degrees from your torso maximum. You'll feel slightly less range of motion at first. That's not a weakness, that's the joint staying safe. And here's the kicker. The chest contracts just as hard in this position, sometimes harder, because the shoulder is stable and can actually transfer force instead of leaking it through a grinding joint. 3 errors down, and here's where it gets uncomfortable, because error 4 is the one most men are proudest of, and it's the exact reason their chest hasn't grown. Error 4, chasing reps instead of tension. Why 20 dips means absolutely nothing. I can do 20 dips, watch. Drop fast, bounce off the bottom, throw my head forward, use my hips, lock out at the top, and call it a rep. That's not training, that's controlled falling. Here's the biology. Your chest muscle doesn't count reps. It measures time under tension, the amount of mechanical stress placed on the fibers over the duration of a set. When you blast through dips at speed, momentum does the work. Gravity drops you down, stored elastic energy bounces you back up, and your chest is barely involved in either direction. You could do 30 reps like that and get less muscle stimulus than someone who does 8 reps with a 3-second descent. The fix? 3 seconds down, 1 second pause at the bottom, controlled press up. Every rep takes 5 to 6 seconds. Your chest will be on fire by rep 6, and that fire is what you've been missing. When you can do 10 to 12 controlled reps, add weight, a dip belt, a plate, a heavy backpack. The principle is the same as every other pressing movement. Progressive overload, more tension over time. That's what builds muscle, not the number you can throw on a scorecard. Ego wants the number, your chest wants the tension. Pick one. And now the last one, the error that makes everything else worse and the one most men have been carrying around since the first time they ever touched a dip bar. Error 5, shoulder collapse at the bottom. The quiet shoulder wrecker you won't feel until the damage is done. At the bottom of most people's dips, their shoulders dump forward. The front of the joint collapses, the shoulder blades wing off the back, and the rotator cuff is suddenly supporting load in a position it was never designed to hold. You cannot feel this happening. There is no immediate pain, no warning signal, just a slow, invisible grind. Every rep, every set, every session, until one morning your shoulder aches just reaching for a glass. And that's when you realize it wasn't one injury, it was 1,000 small ones. The fix? Pull your shoulder blades down and together. Think of them sliding into your back pockets. Hold that position throughout the entire descent, especially at the bottom. When you do this, 2 things happen at once. Your shoulder joint stays centered and protected, and your chest fires harder because the pec starts from a longer pre-stretched position. More growth, less damage. That's the trade you've been refusing to make without knowing it.
Full mechanics breakdown. Every cue in 15 seconds. The whole thing. Grip the bars. Push your chest forward and lean 30 to 45 degrees. Pull shoulder blades down and back into your pockets. Brace your core like a steel beam. Elbows tracking back and slightly out at 45 degrees max. Lower for 3 seconds. Go below parallel until you feel the chest stretch. Pause 1 second at the bottom. Drive up with control. Squeeze the chest at the top. That's 1 rep. If you can only do 4 like this, good. 4 real reps beat 20 fake ones. Every single time.
Here's how you use this in your training. If you're training chest, use chest dips as the primary or secondary compound movement. 3 to 4 sets, 6 to 10 controlled reps. Most sets close to failure. Final set, all the way. Pair them with an incline press for upper chest and a cable fly or pec deck for the squeeze finisher. 3 movements, 3 angles of chest development, complete session. Add weight as soon as 10 controlled reps feel manageable because progressive overload is the engine and the dip is one of the best vehicles for it, once you stop doing it wrong. 5 errors, 5 years of wasted chest training for most men. Torso upright instead of forward leaning, wrong exercise. Stopping short at the bottom, missing the growth signal. Elbows flaring too wide, slowly destroying the shoulder. Chasing reps instead of tension, busy work with no payoff. Shoulder collapse at the bottom, invisible damage compounding daily. Fix all 5 and the dip transforms from the exercise you thought you were already doing right into the exercise that finally changes what you see in the mirror. You've been leaving chest gains on that bar for years. Not anymore.
Go do 1 dip right now, 1 rep, with every fix from this video forward. Forward lean, shoulder blades packed, elbows back. 3 seconds down, pause at the bottom, drive up. Come back to the comments and tell me it felt like the same exercise. It won't. Subscribe if you want every pushing movement fixed the same way. The bench press video is next, and there are 5 errors in that one too. Most of them are worse than these. I'll see you there.